Hello everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Emmanuel, Community Growth Manager for Ecoland, Developer Advocate for techFiesta. And as you know, we have hackathons coming up on techFiesta, and we already did this session. We did a part one session with Lena and Miriam Bills. And now we have another great speaker, an awesome speaker for this session. We're going to be talking about how to win hackathon. But a quick one, I'd just like to download some of our portfolios. While I will allow talk, but like some of the things he has done in the space, like Abena is the serial hackathon winner. We have serial killers, but we can use serial hackathon winner. Like that's one love hackathons. I remember I remember chatting me up and she was like, oh yeah, these are the few I can mention. I'm like, okay, these are the few you can mention. Please, can you elaborate? Like, she has a lot of experience. She's a seasoned hackathon person, and she has a lot of experience. I think they're gonna be having ETH Accra this year, and all of these experiences, is born from she participating in hackathon in a lot of places and just bringing it down to Africa. So, I just like Abena to just a quick one, talk about yourself, what you've done, and so I don't blow your trumpet. I can blow the trumpet, obviously, but I want you to do yourself.
Okay. Hi, Emmanuel. Thanks for the lovely introduction. My name is Abena. I think people know me under the moniker abena.eve. That's me.
Sure.
I've been a little bit all over the place in the past couple of years. I'm very happy to be here. I also share some insights of why I participate in hackathons, why I encourage that if you have the opportunity in attending, what you can expect. So a little bit about my background. I have a traditional finance background. I just graduated in my second master in computer science information system this year. And I started my Web3 Ethereum journey like a little bit 2 years ago. And Hackathon was one of the great pillars for me to get into the ecosystem. By the first hackathon I participated, I just was an observer. I attended it was an online hackathon during the pandemic, organized by Uniswap. It was called Unicode. I just immersed myself, attended some panels, workshop, just to get an idea. I was really happy about it. And last year, I think fast forward, last year I applied to so many in-person hackathon as well as online, participated. Just to mention, I'm an analyst by profession. My coding skills, I consider myself a junior dev. I have beginner Python skills, also like beginners solidity skills. You don't need to be the best developer in order to be successful at the hackathons, because you can have various roles. Sometimes I did the design at one hackathon. Another time I wrote a smart contract. At another hackathon I did the research analysis, and the last hackathon I was a product manager. So I just always form new teams, and I adjust based on the skill set that is needed. What I'm not good at, I cannot do backend. So I always make sure that backend is on my skill set. I'm also not good at front, and I can do like basic coding in smart contract. So I just I think it's
No, come on.
Yes. So
I'm going to ask my questions here, but continue.
I think what you can gain from attending hackathon, it's not only about winning sponsor prizes. What you as a person, it enabled me to grow, professionally as well as emotionally, because you leave your comfort zone, you engage with. I always say that I always form teams. I never knew them before. And you go to the places and then you meet them, you can engage with them on Discord. You make yourself like you leave your comfort zone. That also enables you to grow personally. You can also have the opportunity to expand your network, and always remember your network is your net worth. That's very important. People remember you.
Okay, yes. So like, let me just stop you for a while so that I can just, give direction to a lot of things that I'm saying, because I don't want you to just pick it up from the air. I want to give directions to everything I'm going to be saying. Okay, so now, my first question here is, I would like you to, like share some of your experience, which you have done, but like, go practical, like save some of the things. And what are the key takeaways to some of the hackathons, from some of the hackathons that you have won in the space? Like your key takeaway from some of the, you could mention the hackathon, and what were the key takeaways? How did that help you?
The key takeaways that I would like to share is the first, at Hackathon, I always had the thought that, oh, you need to have like the super best product and needs to be shipped on the Monday. It's not the case. You are most successful if you have an MVP, like minimum viable product, just a simple idea, work on it, test it, and that's it. Not too many features. That's the key takeaway. Simplicity is key because you always run against the time. And another yes, go ahead.
Continue. Yes, another takeaway.
Another takeaway is you have ideation is one thing, but when you need to have enough energy to present in front of the jury. Make sure you sleep well, you rest well, you have a good pitch. What is the idea? And I had the simple case is that I think that most judges look for, what kind of problems are you solving with your idea? Everybody wants to, this is a problem, this is your ideation, this is your idea, and you are providing the solution to the problem. This is what most people want to hear.
Okay, nice one. I think your idea must not just be the best idea, but at least it must solve, you must have a solution that it solves, and you must be able to present that. I think I got that. So how do you approach team formation? Practical steps, both online and offline, because for me there are three types of hackathons. We have the online hackathon, we have the offline, we have the hybrid, where people come and they'll go online later. So like, can you give strategies as regards team formations? Because right about now for techFiesta, for some of the hackathons that are coming up, most of the team formations are online, unless maybe you have a group of guys that you want to work on a project on. They could join the hackathon platform and you guys do it together. But like, what are your own practical strategies that you've used in all of these hackathons, ranging from both online, like the Unicode you mentioned, to now offline, like maybe ETH India or ETH NYC, that you've been there physically? So can you just give us strategies, as regards that?
Youth Global Hackathons, they used to have a team formation slides where you can have like a presentation, PowerPoint presentation, one slide with about yourself. What is your skill set? What is your background? You can also name all your Web2 background. I always said that I have a traditional finance background. I'm a junior dev. And what kind of skill set that like can you bring to the team? And also, I think it helps to always be authentic and share personal information. For example, I love football. Arsenal is my favorite team. So I always share that that's me, that's my background. And
Arsenal is your favorite team?
Yes, favorite team.
Arsenal?
Yes, please.
Wow, you're such a patient person. Oh, interesting.
Yes. So Arsenal and and I love food, for example. That helps because at the end we are people. And when it's an icebreaker and it invites people that, oh, okay, this person, it's not only about hacking technical skills, it's also about you make, like, you present yourself in a kind, in an authentic way, and then it also helps people to get a better idea of who you are, what to expect, especially if it's online, if you don't have the opportunity to meet people in person. So that's what and also exchange DMs on Discord and on Telegram, and then have a chat with the person, just to get to know the person. Yeah, that really helps.
Okay, so from what you said, I could pick that a one-pager of yourself is very, very important. So like a one-pager platform portfolio website of yourself, your skills, what you can do, what you love. So that way, because for me, thinking randomly, going to a Discord server and just say, hey, yo, I'm looking for a team member, can be very, very rowdy. But if you have a one-pager that defines you and how they can reach out to you, that would be better. Maybe, I don't know, platforms like VYX.
Yeah, should I share? I can share the one I used at Lisbon.
Beautiful. Share it. I love that. I love it.
Okay. Okay. Can I share? Okay. Do you see my screen now?
Yeah, sharing. Okay. So
exactly.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
So basically, this is a slide that Eve Global team is providing, but this is just like my Discord handle, picture of myself, about me, what I have, what I bring to the table, and also something, as I said, these are experience that I have at Eve Global Hackathons. But
yes.
Like, for example, I'm well organized, successful for team. Because I'm a generous and enthusiastic person. I love, empowering other people. I love football and food. That's about who I am. That's how I want to present myself at the hackathon. My skill set and any project idea that I'm willing to work on. Then I have this badge looking to add and coffee or drink. This is something that Eve Global is providing. So this is just like give you idea how you can present yourself. It's not a must. Other people have like this, for example.
Yeah.
Other people have images like this, or anything. You need to, or other more like more structured. It just you're free to decide how you want to present yourself. It's not a must that you have pictures. Some people here don't have any pictures at home. So that's an idea how I think
you look like.
It's best. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's nice on team formation, guys. So for the guys who are going to be listening to this recording, or the ones that are live on this call, team formation, like she said, is better, very much approachable to have like you're just what you do, what you can do, projects you're interested in, and how you can be, accessible, they can reach out to you. But a quick one. So now I think this one is really very important. What strategies do you employ to come up with innovative ideas, especially at hackathons? So how do you do it? Because trust me, I know you've been in a lot of ETH hackathons, but you mentioned something about Uniswap hackathon. Yeah, Uniswap EVM. But let's assume it's a Solana hackathon. Let's assume it's a Avalanche hackathon. Let's assume it's Optimism hackathon. Like, what strategies? Yes, I know they're one of the things that will change is the smart contract language, obviously, but I mean the strategies for innovative ideas. How do you, come up with them as a team now, or maybe as a person? So you can give us those two dynamics.
That's a good question. I come with ideas. The tools or the challenges or the protocols that I use in Web 2, and I always find a way, like how can I use it in Web 3, for example. That's a way to that ideation come from. What do my touch point in my everyday life, and what kind of Web 3 solution would it be? For example, you can have an idea would be, for example, if you're traveling, if you go to a hackathon, you would like to have an app that, for example, finding a team member, instead of like, it could be an app like a buddy app, like instead of traveling, if you're looking for a travel buddy, if you want to go on vacation, you can have a travel buddy, but instead of sharing all your personal information, you could have like a travel buddy using like zero knowledge, which does not only share too many personal information, but only information whether you want to travel together to Europe, yes or no, you want to travel to Asia, yes or no, this is how I come with ideas. If ideation process, or anything that an application, a streaming platform that you love, but you cannot use it with, it's not Web3 native. Work around something like this. Usually, what I realized that simple ideas always win. Sometimes we want to go overboard and come too over complicated and over engineering. Try to solve simple ideas. These are low-hanging fruits, because that's where you get more reward and you have able to learn, because you can always iterate on and build additional features later on.
Okay, I think I like that last point, simple ideas, and the fact that if it's a simple idea, you can further iterate, you can further include functionalities in the future. So now that is one that I think you just answered one part of the question where it is your idea. But in a group, now you are coming to a team, you already have your idea, and now you already have a team and you want to, you guys want to create stuff. So how do you guys come up with that innovative stuff as a team now? Because many of the guys were working, in a team.
In a team? Ask yourself, what is your skill set? I mean, if you don't have, let me put that way, build things that you as a team are able to stem and fulfill. If you don't have any good front-end developer or good designer, don't go for a project which needs to have like an outstanding, stellar design, because you're going to kill yourself somehow. And if, for example, I was once at the hackathon where the smart contract devs, they were not very seasoned, senior, they were both junior smart contract. Yeah, so that's why we built, our ideation was peer to pool lending protocol, but then instead of peer to pool, we just said P2P. Keep it simple, adjust to what, and the team members said that they're not very experienced in building these platforms. So that's why we created a pool, lending pool, peer-to-peer. It's simpler to build than peer-to-pool. So come out with ideas that suits best your team members. And also be honest about your skill set. It looks nice on the outside, but you always need to make sure you need to build it. And it's more frustrating to agree to something that you're not able to do because it just overwhelms you, and then you leave the hackathon frustrated because you were not able to fulfill the task. Better lower your expectation, under promise and over deliver. Start small, and then you can always feature more towards the hackathon and realize you have more capacity.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love the way you answered the question. So on the promise, over deliver. One of the things I think you really said, and it's very important for every developer, is be honest about your level of expertise. So I'm junior, these are the things I can do, these are the projects that I've done. Okay, so I might not be able to go further than this, because that will really help your team. So you mentioned something about overwhelming, and I think I want to thread out something there. So how do you manage time, especially doing hackathon? I think I'll talk about time, and how do you handle pressure also? Pressure that comes with time, because you're trying to middle of the stuff. So how do you handle time and pressure?
You need to bear in mind and also accept the fact that time is always running against you. That's a hackathon. That's the nature of the hackathon. So don't fret or stress yourself with that aspect. What I always suggest, for my experience, is it's good. You need to prepare, have good tools before you start tackling that task. And I prefer to have a layout of, let's sit together, strategize what we want to do, take enough time. Once we have agreed on, I break the project into smaller chunks. That's the goal for today. That's the goal that we plan to do next day. And then after a couple of hours, maybe it's a 3-day hackathon or 2-day, you always check in after like first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Have regular check-in with the team members to check, hey, are we on track? Is it too much or not? And bear in mind that at the end, I always start, once we've agreed on, I start with the presentation and pitch very early. It's set there, and I don't leave this for the last minute. And everybody wants to upload their project. You need to bear in mind that the internet is already stable, so don't leave the presentation and the video to the last minute. Record it well in advance. If anything goes goes lost, you still have the material which helps you to submit.
Yeah. Okay, doing everything in advance is one of the best way, especially the very, very important stuff. And I'm still going to trade it out to, get into talking about the judges and what they look out for, but I'm not going to say that now. That will be towards the end of our discussion. But another one you mentioned was breaking stuff into chunks. So how do you do your prototyping? I think, I have it written down here. How do you do, so what are the specific techniques you use for your prototyping and development? in an hackathon. So for me, I want to like very practical, because obviously we know that a team is going to comprise of technical guys and the non-technical guys. So like break it down. You could use an example of maybe a project I have done. Just break it down from the technical stacks, then also to the non-technical stacks. So I'm breaking it down. We involve also, breaking it down to roles. What this person is going to do, what this other person is going to do. So I don't know if you get that question. What I mean by breaking prototyping. Yeah, sure. Can I have the mic here?
Even though we live in a digital world, we still brainstorm using pen and paper. It helps to conceptualize, iterate our ideas. We always go to it's like once we have agreed on what we want to build, we decide the tech people, then they first look into the documentation library, if they have enough resources. If not, then we need to go to each protocol. They always have tech people at the booth. We can go and help ask for additional questions. And it's like, I mean, usually some of them are also available on Discord. You can always ask them questions on Discord, but you can also ask in-person questions. Sometimes people from the protocol, they come to our hackers table to ask, hey, do you need help? So it's a two-way to ask for help. It's about ideation. It's about building prototype. Sometimes we use mock-up where we simulate a prototype, how it looks like. Figma also helps. But most of the time it's trial and error. It's like you build, then you do testing, and then you go to test, and then you always ask feedback. Hey, is this what we have anticipated? Is this what we have conceptualized? Constant communication and feedback loop helps to know that we're all on the same track and we always talk about the same. Otherwise, if we don't talk, one will build, and then at the end we say, oh, that's not what we have talked about. So makes good. But they said, coming up the question that you ask, how do I deal with stress? You need to, I think I am able to deal with stress. I'm a very resilient person, and I'm an Arsenal supporter. We are built differently. I know how to deal with stress. And I think I just realized the fact that problems will come. You cannot plan everything, but just accept that sometimes, even though you always have a bug, and that's the nature. We submit a project and we went to present in front of the jury, and during the presentation there was a bug, so we were not able to do live demo. That's how it is. So that's why we had a PowerPoint presentation where we have stretched out how it should work. But it always happens that sometimes a bug is there and you're not able to demonstrate the way you have planned. You need to deal with that.
Okay, I like that. Dealing with pressure, sometimes things might not go the way you want them to go. But another question, because you mentioned something about building simple stuff. So what is that balance, I think, between practicality and creativity, especially in hackathons? What balance, what can you give a balance to being practicable as regards building and also being creative, especially when engaging in a hackathon? What should we go for? Which one will you give 80-20? Which one will you give 80? Which one will you give 20? Like which one you give 70-30? We can talk in percentage and also just break down some other stuffs.
Okay, that's a good question. So if I understand you correctly, you're asking what should we focus on, practical or beautiful? What is it?
Yes,
practical
or creativity. Practicality or creativity. So what is the balance, especially when having an hackathon? As regards winning, let's put winning in perspective. Yes, winning is because the major aim why we even had this session is how to win an hackathon. So let's put winning in perspective. And now let's talk about the hackathon. What's between practicality and creativity? Which would you say you would delve in more than the other?
It's a interesting question. I just don't know whether I should focus more on. I think I will go 60-40, maybe 60% practicality and 40% creativity. I like to be even balanced. I don't like this like 80% or 90% in one side and not the other, because it needs to uniqueness. I mean, in order to, it goes back to simplicity. You need to build things that people will actually use and it solves a real world problem. And I think that correlates high with something that is practical, it works, and it's in need, versus something that is super like visionary creativity, but nobody will use it. I think then you're just creating something, it might look beautiful, but it's like you're like 3 steps ahead, and we first need to solve how should I say,
problem at hand, the problem
yes,
on ground.
Exactly. It's like the train. Like for me, it's like Ethereum currently is like a train that is still standing in the train station. It has not even started rolling, but it does not make sense to build different tracks, a different train out of wood, glass, cement, etc. First need to finish building the current train and start shipping it before we are building up like additional things. So that's why I think practicality, it's important, need to be paid attention to.
Yeah, okay, quick one. Maybe many people don't even know. So let me just do a rundown of many products that came out through Hackathon. Uniswap, yes, Uniswap came out via an Hackathon, I think, 2018, ETH Global. So the Facebook like button came out from an Hackathon. Which other, many of these, features we see even on Twitter. I think the bookmark button on Twitter was from an Hackathon. Do you understand? So like you said, you're delving more into practicality, and I think I will agree with you on that. Creativity is beautiful, but it has to be practical. So more practicality for inclusivity as people really using your products, and also, yeah, putting winning in perspective. People want to be able to use it. The judges want to understand that, oh yeah, these people can use what you have built. So I think that's a beautiful one. Another question that I want to ask is
so I want to add this 1inch also came out as a hackathon project. 1inch.
1inch, yeah, thank you very much.
Exactly. Yes, there are many of them. I think Dune Analytics also derived from a hackathon idea. So I think hackathons are fruitful soil for brainstorming, coming up with idea, build on features that is interesting, and then yes, and then that can be built on later on. So, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so thank you very much for that example. 1inch is a decentralized, exchange aggregator, and that's a great one. That's a great one. Instead of using arbitrage, you just pull funds, and 1inch help you to pull it from other pools and get you the money. So a quick one. I think I want to link these 2 questions. Number 1, how important is presentation? So like we are done, we have beauty. So how important is presentation in helping you to win? 1, and what are the criteria that the judges use? Like from your experience, what have you seen that the judges use as criteria and that helped you win a lot of hackathon? Because if you have won this much hackathon, obviously there must be a pattern that you must have known. There must be an idea. I know you. There must be an idea that you must have used back and forth that's helped you. That like, okay, guys, let's do this like this, let's do this like this. So firstly, presentation, how important is presentation? What are those things that judges look out for?
Be prepared. Again, when you submit, I never do all night. I always sleep, because my brain, like, it's proven that your alertness, assertiveness is best when you're rested and when you prepared. Have a good storytelling helps. Everybody loves amazing, unique storytelling. Prepare your pitch. Prepare what kind of problem are you solving. Again, what is the problem? Do you have a problem statement? What is the solution? What kind of service do you give from problem to the solution? It's always a 3-angle step, and it's always nicely, beautiful slides help. Not too much text on the presentation. Work with images. Be authentic. I'm always super nervous when I need to present. I'm always nervous, but I let the people know. And it's nothing wrong. Just be authentic and be prepared that, hey, what kind of questions will they ask? For example, why did you do this? How can it be improved? Have you looked into another solution? Why have you not been able to implement this? Questions will come. Just that's a natural course, but good storytelling helps.
So let's go now to the judges. What criteria, what patterns have you seen that judges, used to? Because I want to also link it to the fact that what could make your project stand out. So if your project is standing out here, that means you're winning. So what criteria are the judges, looking at from, like I want to work with patterns, what you have seen from your hackathons to hackathon here?
It's difficult because judges are human beings and they're always different judges. Some judges only care about the tech stack. They don't care about the layout, presentation, design, etc. Others are more focused on the design. It really depends on what kind of judge you have. Usually judges are comprised of someone business, someone tech, and maybe a third one. I don't know, 2 or 3 people. Depends on the hackathon. So sometimes some judges are looking into the technical stack. Does it really work? And others are not. But usually what judges want to see is the uniqueness and that it works. That's what most of them are looking out for.
Okay, so I think it differs from place to place. Like you said, on a team, there could be the tech stack people, the people who are involved in the business development, and the people who are even involved with the product design, how the products look like. So those kind of 3 people and if we are talking about practicality, if from your conversation, if we delve into practicality as more important than creativity, so that means the tech stacks also is important. That means the business also, what solution is solved is very, very important, and maybe less of too much design on the creativity because it's a project in an hackathon. And we know that an hackathon is for a short period of time, max, maybe a month, 3 weeks to 4 weeks. I don't know. And they are shorter. I think they are shorter. Some are 3 days.
Yes, the one I attended, I usually, I only attend in person, which are 2 to 3 days. It's very short. You cannot have build a unicorn or a castle within 3 days. It's just too short. That's why I emphasize on practicality and uniqueness, and rather than fully fledged, beautiful design.
Okay. So a quick one also. How do you approach post hackathons? Like, what are the activities for post hackathons? Like, what are your post hackathon approach? Do you guys still work on the code base after the hackathon period is done? Like, are there, does that affect the winning? Like, just
yes,
talk around that.
Some of the projects I have I'm working on to further working on it to creating like a MVP, sorry, not the MVP, but like a first version. And then it's like, yeah, we also get some grants. If you're successful, most of companies are interested to provide you grants to work on this project. And yes, we definitely, there are 2 projects that I'm currently in the pipeline that I'm working on.
Okay. So I think, can you hear me okay? Yeah. So I think, so after you're done, some projects want to invest. And I've seen that with Filecoin. I've seen that with I think Filecoin, GraphQL. Some of these guys want to really invest and push. I want you to push it to production on their platform. Well, a quick one also. What are the challenges that you have personally encountered in hackathons? Like major challenges that I know is common to every group, engaging in that same hackathon. I think we've mentioned some, but I would just like to reiterate,
I think the challenge is definitely it's about getting along with the people, because I never hacked unless in Lisbon. One guy I knew him from Bogota, but all the hackathons I attended, I never hacked with the same people, and it's always like surprise box. Sometimes you get along better, and others you don't really get along, but that's how it is. So when you join any university or like workplace, there are people that you don't really get along from like, but you can manage to find a common ground and speak. And if you realize that, hey, this team is so horrible, the vibe is not there, it costs too much stress on you, and you're free to change your team, or you can even hack solo. It's also possible. At the end, it should be fun, and you should learn, and you should feel comfortable.
Okay, that's one. Any other challenges again? And when I say challenge, like generally, not only human, whatever challenges, I think we mentioned time constraint. Time constraint is challenging. Pressure, that's one challenge. One, your bugs, not like you discovering a bug while presenting. That's another very funny challenge.
That's another challenge. That's a challenge on a different level.
My God. Okay, so I was in this hackathon, a short story. I was in this hackathon, yeah. No, it wasn't like hackathon. It was a presentation. This guy was supposed to present Berix.io to us. And he was presenting. While presenting, this is the guy that wants to convince us about the product. There was a bug. So not like there was a bug. So one of the nodes shut down and they didn't tell him. So that period while he was presenting, the node was down. So he was presenting, he was trying this thing, and everybody was just looking at him like, okay, you don't know what you're saying. So it can be so painful. After testing, and you go there and you now, you're trying to connect MetaMask. So I don't know what you're trying to do. And it just keep giving you one funny error message. So it can be, do you have any story around that also as regards, you having bugs while presenting?
Oh, I said I had this like 2 or 3 times, but I just, but that's, yeah, I just skip it. And then I was okay, it didn't work. And we had the one hackathon, we didn't even manage to upload the video because the Loom or it was not working. We were not able to upload it due to the technical issue of internet. And then one hackathon was, I think, in New York. My computer, it was the old MacBook, he crashed completely just right before the submission. So I had things happen, really. So that's why I always have a backup on the cloud. So so that's, I can't imagine. Not everything is low, but that's how it is. Things happen. You just need to. I think it's not what happened. What matters is how you respond to it. And if you didn't have a video, and we didn't have a video, we just went to the jury, to the judges, and presented the PowerPoint. We didn't have a video to show. That's how it is. You learn to navigate.
Okay. So I think I already asked a question about judges' criteria, and you mentioned that it differs from place to place. I think another one that we could also talk about is that I think there used to be pre-hackathon events where are there pre-hackathon events, before the hackathon, events before the hackathon. So for like techFiesta, we had an online session. There's an hackathon coming up with Human Protocol. Abena also, I think, I'm just saying that so you can know. So there's an hackathon coming up with Human Protocol, and we had an introductory session. And in the introductory session, basically, we just had the guys from Human Protocol coming to, talk about what they expect to be built and giving resources, on what to be built. So what advice can you give to people listening as regards that specific case, how they can, engage and can even help them to win the hackathon? Because I believe the level of difficulty has now been helped such that they've been given resources, and also an introductory session has been provided where you can listen and learn from it. So like, what advice can you randomly just give as regards that? Because it's an online hackathon, yeah? It's not like we're meeting in person.
So if I'm not sure if I understand your question
correctly. Okay, so
You're
I want to give you, I'm asking that in our case where there's an introductory session, and the introductory session held in the guys that were around, the person from Human Protocol stated what they expect from the hackathon, give resources. So how can developers engaging in this hackathon? How can they use that to the advantage and position themselves for winning the hackathon? So I just need your idea, thought on that, on this situation. Yeah.
So I don't know whether my mic is not correct, but you asked like, no, seriously, it like your voice was
Flipping.
yeah, was flipping. I'm not sure whether it's mine or so. You asked whether pre-hackathon as a preparation, how can developers prepare themselves best to attend the hackathon?
Yes, using pre-hackathon event, pre-hackathon informations, and even resources also.
Okay, yeah. I think it's before you go to a hackathon, for example, I plan to go to the Paris one. I always go to the sponsors, check who is sponsoring, which protocols are even there. They provided the resources on Discord, on their homepage, whatsoever. You can already start reading through the documents, whether they have new plugins, new features, etc., how to deploy, how to implement, etc. Familiarize yourself with and sometimes they host AMA sessions before the hackathon. They also have workshops. I attend in-person hackathon of If Global, or even online hackathon of If Global. They're doing one in October. I highly recommend online 3 weeks, so you have time to build bigger projects. But all the resources are online. You have tons of material on YouTube. You can just go there. People tell you like how to build on, how to deploy, what is new there. So there's so many online resources there. Immerse yourself, learn, read and prepare yourself. It's like if you want to run a marathon or like doing like any competition, it's like you 20K race. It's not the day that you sign up that you run in the first 20K. You run 5K, 10K. You prepare so that when the race comes, that you know how it feels to run. It's not the first time that you're running. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, wow, interesting. So yeah. Thank you very much, Abena, for the question.
So don't be scared. And just the last thing I can say is that try. You can only win. It's not about the money, but you as a person, because you left your comfort zone. You're already a winner. You meet new people. You try. And I think in life, if you try, you're already a winner, because trying is more than doing nothing.
Oh, beautiful. So we just had 45 minutes of talk. Yeah. And this is time for question. I don't know if anyone has a question. Just use the gesture for you raise up your hand, ask whatever question you want to ask. And Abena is here to answer you from a wealth of experience. So I've learned a lot also talking to her. I don't know why you're looking starstruck. Abena.
No, I'm here. I mean, anyone, if you don't want to ask questions now, but I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, you can just reach out to me. I'm really more than happy to help you. I can only recommend participate in the online hackathon If Global. It's happening in October. If you need some guidance how to fill out the application form, just let me know. It's a very, very wonderful way, because this helps you to market yourself and also helps you to make yourself visible. That might help you to get a job in Web3 and also be successful there.
Yeah, nice one. I like the recommendation. Also, don't forget that the Human Protocol Hackathon is starting on the 20th of July. Please, if you have not registered, it's very, very important to register. I don't know, Prosper, if we can share the link here in the chat session. I don't know if possible. I'd like us to drop the link in the chat session. So if you're not registered, I mean the link to the Google form to register. It's very important to register. techFiesta is going to be going live this month. Also, like, boom, we're having an hackathon to introduce everyone. Next month, August, we're also having another hackathon. Don't worry, it's in the pipeline. So don't let me let the cat out of the bag. But don't worry, it's in the pipeline. And we're also having another hackathon in Q4. Like, we have a lot of hackathons for everyone, but we need you guys to engage, join the introductory sessions, use the resources, build product. Not only that, I think we didn't mention this. Okay, thank you, Prosper, for sharing that. We didn't mention this the last time. I don't know, one of the times I had a community call. Not only that techFiesta allows you to build and you get paid in stable coins, also there are plans for, more that incubation, where your idea is being taken and being funded, and you are introduced to mentors who can help you as regards pushing that idea to a global scale beyond just being an MVP, to a global scale. Do you understand? So those are one of the many, many reasons why you should engage in the hackathon. Also, can anyone do the pitching? Abena, can anyone do the pitching? Does it have to be the developer doing the pitching? Does it have to be the program manager doing the pitching? Does it have to be the product manager doing the pitching when pitching?
What do you mean? Like pitch in front of the judge?
Okay, so
anyone can. Usually what they like is that everybody is participating in the presentation. So usually in my team and I usually do product management. So I just pitch the idea, and I always lead the developers explain their tech stack, because they know best what they have built. That's what we, and usually if we're a team of 5 people, usually 3 people talk max. I wouldn't recommend that everybody should talk. One presentation, introduction, the tech stack, front end, back end, smart contract, that's it.
Okay, so another question from the same person, Mr. Raji. I am into product management. What happens to the product you have built after the hackathon? Typically or hypothetically, what happens to the product you have built after the hackathon?
If protocols are interested, you get a grant and you can work on the protocol, and you can work on like expand the project from an MVP to like a first version. That's what I'm currently doing with 2 projects of mine that I won hackathon prizes for. I'm currently working on this to build a creative platform. And yeah, so I'm passionate about this. So that's why I love to engage myself within. And even if you don't get the grant, if you still believe in it, I highly encourage building on it, because yeah, sometimes you need to work in silence and create some unicorn before you going out.
Yeah, okay. I think I like that, work in silence sometimes, then create a unicorn and push out. That's a very interesting one. If you have any other question, I don't want to use the mic, you can use the chat section. Abena is ready to answer your questions. Always ready, obviously. Yeah. She always wins, so she's ready. Okay, so I don't know. Do I have any other question? Let me check. I think you already shared your mindset on winning. You mentioned that it's always good to try. Basically, it's not about the bounties, but it's very important to step out, put yourself out there, put your ideas out there. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So I'm just saying this also. Put your idea out there. We've spoken about situations. I was going to ask about recommendations. You already mentioned ETH, the one coming in October. And I also mentioned the Human Protocol Hackathon coming up 20th of this month. And so I don't know if you have any last words, any last wisdom nuggets from you.
What is a wisdom nugget?
To win hackathon, yeah.
You need to have grit.
Okay.
Grit is important. I mean, it looks from outside, it looks like that I'm very successful, but I've also attended hackathon. I was not close to success, but just because the first 2, 3, 4 hackathons, I was not successful at all, but I did not give up. And Rome was built within a day. And in life, you get rewarded for when you try, when you have grit, when you grind, and you keep, persistence is key. That's the reason why I can say, keep trying, keep pushing, keep failing, keep learning, keep growing. Cristiano Ronaldo was not born like this. He trained several years to be successful.
Okay, I know you like football. So who's your GOAT? Is it Ronaldo or Messi? Who's your greatest of all time? Messi or Ronaldo?
It's Mbappe.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, guys. So yeah,
I hope you enjoyed.
Okay, guys. So Abena said a lot. I think I can highlight a lot of things, and one of the things I really highlight when forming a team, please let them know your level of expertise. Also, as a way of publicizing yourself, it's good to have a one-pager that says everything about yourself, your technical stacks, and also what you can do. She also mentioned that grit is important. Number two, there is more delving into practicality than creativity. Creativity is very, very good, unique, very, very awesome, but make it more practicable. And as regards also, the judges and having them, like consider a project, the technical stacks, the practicality is good. Also, the design also is good. For your presentation, it's very, very, very important that you have somebody who can explain the overview and another person who can explain the technical stacks. Do you understand? So she said maximum of 3 people in a team. And also to our nuggets, your grit is very, very important. Grit, pushing, grinding, back to back is always, always, always important. So thank you very much for joining this session. Does anybody have a question before it's gone? Okay, does anybody? I think. Yeah. Okay, Abena, thank you so much for that link. So thank you very much, Abena. Thank you for showing up for today's call. Thank you for giving us your nuggets. Thank you for showing us your beautiful face.
Thank you.
Thank you for dropping.
You talk plenty. You make a lot of jokes.
Thank you for dropping all the ideas. I hope you're enjoying your trip, the one you didn't invite me to. And we'll reach out to you if we have any other sessions. I don't know if you have any last words for the community before we end the call. Any last words from you?
No, nothing. Really, thank you so much for having me. I'm always happy to share my experience, and if that motivates other people in attending, I'm more than happy. And if you have any questions, just don't feel shy. Reach out to me. I can only say try.
Yeah, we can connect to her on LinkedIn. Abena Ashanti. I like the Ashanti name. It reminds me of a football, whatever. But Abena A, that's a name on LinkedIn. I don't know your Twitter handle.
Twitter is Abena_E.
So Abena_ETH. Yeah, that is a Twitter handle. Connect her on Twitter and send her a DM. She's a very busy person. She'll reply you, don't worry.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Abena. Thank you everyone for showing up. Thank you, Raji, Isaac, Xavier, Success, Adelaide. Thank you, Prosper. Thank you, Tolu. Thank you, Emmanuel. And thank you, Abena.
Thank you. Have a nice week. Week ahead. Bye.
Yeah, sure. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Abena.
Bye, Prosper.
Bye.